Terrible. I'm seeing some very terrible things in chat. Warpcore, thank you for the 20. Much appreciated. Was there a message with that? Yeah, there was no message. Thank you. Hold on here just a moment. I'm having some issues with my webcam. We might have to go without a webcam today, which I know is going to be really terrible to some of you. I just plugged in a different USB-C cable, and now I don't think the webcam is... No. The webcam is not showing up at all. Okay, so we're going without a webcam today, which I know is going to be terrible. Some of you are going to very much hate that. I do apologize. Let's get Twitch started up. Okay, let's see everything in chat so far. I know I need to get a new USB cable or something, because the one that I have here, let me try plugging it back in. Hold on. Let me find that cable. Okay. Let's see, does this cable work? Webcam. No, it's still just saying OBS virtual camera. Okay, I'm gonna have to figure that out another time, but no camera today, I'm sorry. Yeah, I know Warpcore. Jay, Mac, how's it going? One Torp with long cooldown. Chiaps, Michi, how's it going? Brilliant. But your face is how you make your money? Terrible. They're all plugged in, and I think the issue is with the USB cable I did plug in. I think it's a it's one of them that's optimized for power instead of data. So I think that'd be the issue. I mean, I could keep looking around for a cable if that's what you guys want. But I'm not sure why the camera's, messing up this bad. It's fine. August, Giant Dutch Viking, Icy, how's it going? Picard, I'm sorry. You don't need a webcam to shill? That's correct. Okay, let's get summer dailies done. I'm really hopeful we get a bundle sale here soon. I need to pick up that damn Disco Inferno bundle. Maybe it's a problem with the comm system? Yeah.
Get out there and fly.
Perhaps. When doing... Oh yeah, don't worry, chaps. Using the mouse makes it really easy to just...
Enjoying the view of the
aim
harbor?
in the correct area. Have we ever gone this long without a Muds bundle sale before? No.
You buzzed the resort.
There. One more. There it is. Mia, how's it going? Yeah, you would hope for a Phoenix sale here soon also, or, you know, like an event for us to get the X upgrades. There's a lot of things that seem to just be a bit slower this year. Like the frequency of stuff isn't as common. I wonder if Deca's hoping to lean into that FOMO a little bit more. You know, it's just, we're gonna have to wait and see there.
Good thing that volcano's not active anymore.
I don't think waiting 6 months between Mud's bundle sales is the smartest move on their part. If someone gets really engaged with endgame stuff and has to wait 6 months to be able to buy stuff, it's really hard to keep people
get out there and fly.
super motivated in the game when they get to that level of play, because that's where a lot of the flaws of this game really start to show up. You know, when you start to get into elites or PvP and you start to actually like get really engaged with you know, high-end stuff, coordination, you realize just how bad the server performance is in this game, and a lot of people don't stick around super long after that. So it would be in their best interest to make sure Muds sales are happening at least once a quarter, in which they bring back the old Muds bundles. This 6-month delay is just one of the stupidest things they could do.
Get out there and fly.
Why is my in-game... Oh, you know what it is? I know what it is. I know what it is. I was doing something the other day and I had desktop audio set to like no reduction. Nice. Yeah, the plasma stuff is crazy.
That'll give the dancers a show.
It's already gotten to a point where plasma is high enough up in the meta that if you put up a plasma build on the Stow build subreddit, you get people complaining about it's another plasma meta build. Do something different. It's just always really interesting to me to see how long after you know, something becomes like super effective or like the meta option, how long it takes for people to start complaining about it. People are never happy. Hope I'm saving favors on this account for Ball Lightning? Yeah, probably. I've had a bunch of people ask about the rise of kit frames, and to be honest, the issue with asking me ground things is that I don't care about ground things in this game. And
circle the peak. That should give
like
you a
I can set up a solid
island.
ground build to get me through stuff, but it just the ground combat in this game has just always been very boring to me. So, like, if you want to know about, you know, the Ryza kit modules, the kit frames, the Builds Discord has a ground section that has some of the most dedicated and knowledgeable ground players in it that are going through and testing all this stuff.
Get out there and fly.
They've got nice breakdowns of it all, and they've got your answers. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so this is the free-to-play account. It's at 11 out of 20 on the summer event, so it is going to get the Voven for free. Episode-wise, I'm not doing any story missions right now, but next up would be the Iconian arc. Terrible. You got your free Commander Gaorani warships? Nice. I just upgrade my system to Windows 11 and I get some popping, cracking sounds and some space maps. That's a new one to me. 17-1, how's it going? So I've been messing around with like a meme tank on the Voven for the past week or so. Some of you will have seen the first take I did for like a meta evaluation on the Voven and Credence. And Victor, thank you for the Twitch sub there, much appreciated. I opted to not make that video public because I recorded it just during a day that I had a lot of stuff going on IRL, so the quality of it was just really subpar. So I'm going to break that video up into just separate ship reviews for the Voven and the Credence. But at the end of that, you did see the meme build that I was messing around with on the Voven. Trying out the 4-piece and all that, doing Fractal Integrity Bleed. It's been doing quite well. Alan, how's it going? That thing about MUDs being the third highest revenue generator in the game really makes me wonder why they've stopped sales. They've always done some questionable things. The lack of MUD sales, I think, again, is just really stupid on their part. Go ahead and ask. Your chat isn't appearing? I see your chat. There should be sound. It's just the game sounds a little bit lower, and I have the ambient sound turned off. Okay. Yeah, Stanky Boy, I think they will. If you look at Deca, that's one thing with them is they really like to have heaps of events for engagement. How many stacks do the prolonged engagement edge weapons max out on for their amplified stacks? I think it says it right on the tooltip. I've got mine somewhere here. Where's the numbers? Yeah, so it caps out at 115% there. 10? Okay. The thing is with the prolonged is that they are only good in situations where you're in constant combat for a couple minutes at a time. As soon as you drop out of combat, you lose the stacks you've gained on them. So generally, if you're doing any content where you're not in constant engagement for more than 60 to 90 seconds at a time, the prolonged weapons suck. So you do have to be careful with them. It's why I don't really bother with the prolonged weapons. Like they're a good budget option. They're there for people that are just starting out, but that inconsistency with them sucks. Yeah. Indeed. Okay. Let's do some random TFO content, and we're gonna start off here with a Hive Space Elite public queue. I'm gonna be tanking. Let's see how bad it goes. Again, Hive Space Elite public queue for anyone that wants to join. Good for leveling? Yeah, it's fine for that. George, how's it going? We don't know who made the Voven. There we go. There's a pop. No, this is on my main account. It's a tank setup. It's like some weird off-meta tank with fractal integrity bleed. What is it with YouTube? They really want everyone to get YouTube Premium. Unfortunately, Michi, I don't have friendship on. So sorry. There's always things missing in the blog. Who's the highest ground DPS people? It'd be like Tiberius, Marcus from Stow League. They've got some really crazy numbers up.
Warning, ship is under attack.
I can pull up the ground tables here in a moment and give you the exact answer.
Join us. Become one with us.
Might be doing a couple other things there. Once the activations actually work.
Right shield failing. 4 shields failing.
I'm having some ability issues here. I hate EPM timing so much. Michi, you're doing good.
Target shield has failed.
My timing on tanking is just atrocious, I know.
Your efforts are futile. Destroy this vessel, and I will claim another.
For Michi. Look at how horrible my ability timing is.
Target shield has failed.
I can't save you guys from feedback pulse, I'm sorry. I just realized that, Chiap. I screwed Michi over.
And perfection. I
Let him down.
bold.
Michi still did 1.2. He was terrible. Everyone else died because of feedback pulse. Will I play the Credence too? Yeah, I can. I can do something that's got some damage output. Poor Michi. They gave me EPS and not Michi. Oh no. Oh no. Poor Michi. Can I feedback pulse on feedback? No. How secure are the plastic holder things for Eagle Moss models supposed to be? It depends on the model. Some of them work good, some of them are horrendous. So there was a question about what the top ground DPS is right now. So let's take a look here. Let's look at Bug Hunt. The current top Bug Hunt record is 57k by Solidor. And for NTTE, it is Lord Cruncher with 228,000 DPS. So yeah, the current top ground records are higher than the average player's DPS in space. That's where we're at with the meta. Yeah, so here we go. There's things on eBay you can pick up. Like there's people that make custom bases for the ships that are usually a bit more solid. So if you happen to get one that just has an absolutely horrendous stand, then you can usually find for like 15-20 bucks a much higher quality stand. Yeah. So like the Daredex stand is known to be one of the worst out there, and this guy has, you know, stands for that and everything else. If you want to see ground builds, check out the builds Discord. So the builds Discord is always linked in the description down below. And if you scroll down there near the bottom, I know there's a lot of channels, but if you go to ground discussion, ground builds, you're gonna see a good assortment of builds in there. And in discussion, you've got some of the top ground players in the game, you know, always chatting about new stuff. How do I get Dark Theme eBay? It's an add-on here called Dark Reader. It pretty much allows you to force any website to be in dark mode. Bill, how's it going? So I got the last 2 boxes for the mystery box in yesterday. I have not opened them yet, but that'll be another stream later this week once I get my camera situation sorted out. Spencer flashbanging us by disabling the extension. Terrible. Okay, I got a request in chat to swap over to the Credence, so let me do that. I mean, I am only joining TFOs to look pretty. You want me to DPS too? Terrible. Yeah, the voting console's nice. Okay, Credence. Yeah, I think I set up a loadout on this. That was more just for like pugging with some uncon. Oh no, I don't know what this loadout is. Does it even have uncon on it? Oh, the entire loadout's screwed up. Okay, we're doing a disruptor setup on this thing. Is the Credence worth it then? I think the Credence is a solid platform, but like I said in the stats breakdown, the Legendary Avenger is better than it. Though if I'm going into a random environment, I think the Credence would be my preference due to the hangar bay. Jay, how's it going? Yes, they let me name the Credence the Credence. Yeah, the trade on it will be better when they get the issues sorted out with it, and the console on it is good, especially for carrier players, I believe. But I do think that there are some issues with the console. Mac, I think that's, you know, down to personal preference. You know, they're both capable in their own ways. Depression Barrage is always really nice to have in a random environment. Is it worth it to pick up a captain token to become an alien for the 11th trait? Yeah. I mean, that 11th trait is nice, and you can still make your character look like what your character was before. The issue with this console, though, is that it has a 2-second activation time, which means it can really screw up your weapons firing. Okay. We're gonna do something different. By that I mean we're gonna do advanced, because the reality is that these queues are just so hard on a higher difficulty, you know? You know, Cure or Khitomer. Hmm. Let's do a Cure. You don't know. Let's keep elite. Let's do a Cure found elite public queue. Did I confuse you, August? Can I show the Breen ship? You mean the one that I got, or you mean the physical model that I got? I unfortunately can't get to it, and my camera's not working right now. But it's the Chalgrat.
Ship is under attack.
Yeah, the activation time on some of this stuff is a little bit rough. Oh, I forgot to take off.
Rear shield failing.
Just realizing I forgot to change this build before going in, so I had Temporal Surge on, and that because of that, Temporal Surge has a cooldown.
Four shields failing. Rear shield failing. Target shield has failed. Four shields failing. Right shield failing. Four shields failing.
Go. I would not use the Credence console on a support unless it's a coordinated run. Absolutely. What's the better do platform? The VOD War Juggernaut. But the Legendary Avenger has better mobility, and I think is going to be better suited for the majority of players. The VOD War Juggernaut is a flying brick, and unless you are, you know, fine spending, you know, a ton of time, you know, refining piloting with it, it's not a ship you're going to get a ton of enjoyment from. Robert, how's it going? So I might buy the Credence just to name it Clearwater Revival. Terrible. Is the Credence console worth getting the ship for? I think for carrier player, absolutely. I think for high-end record setting, it is going to be used, but there are issues with the console, most notably that 2-second activation time, which does severely hurt it. Do I think they'll ever add in any new Tier 5 ships? Probably not. Linus, how's it going? Learn to fly and get good, in other words. It's not, I'm not trying to be a dick about it. It's, we've always said with the VOD War Juggernaut, for anyone looking at it, it is a flying brick. And if you are not willing to, you know, sit there and use that as like your only ship for a little bit to get used to it, you're going to have a rough time. I have the Janeway material on the Credence here. This was a disruptor setup. If I was going in elite for max deeps, I'd be on plasma, but my plasma loadout's a little bit screwed up. Conduit elite. Yeah. I mean, this isn't fully optimal, but let me swap loadouts here quick. So just give me a minute. Temporal Surge reduces its cooldown faster if you're in Cloak or hit intel abilities. Yeah, the all or nothing crit chance on the console's rough. Is that bugging you? It's still doing it. How far back do I have to go? That fixed it. With the Section 31 Vandy Shield, I don't think I have that on this character. With Platinum... Actually, I don't know about this one with Platinum. This might be one ship where I just don't think the Platinum is the best option for it. That's personal preference, of course. I mean, there is the Vanity Shields on sale right now, but those are expensive. The other one people always are like, the other one that people always want to see is like Bowl, right? Jay, I don't know. This is the Bowl Vandy Shield on it. And Section 31. I think I might actually have the medical Vandy. It'd be in the bank. Okay. Let's change loadouts. The lighting on New Romulus is terrible? Yes. The goth... Oh no. I don't even remember what I said. Did I say that? Do I expect it to be nerfed? I don't know. I don't even really know how Deca feels about this stuff. You know, I don't know what their opinion is on power creep and everything. I apparently do have a couple Vandy Shields here. Dan, I don't believe. I think it's if you look at it, it says to the ally and their pets. Where do I have it here? Targets to friend and up to 12 pets they control. So it does not buff the surrounding allies. Okay, Infected Elite, as requested. Here we go, public queue. Do I expect the Voven console to be nerfed though? No, I think it's fine. I think the cooldown on it should be halved in PvP, PvP situations. Let it be usable every 15 seconds in PvP.
The situation.
There's apparently not any PvPers here. I also forgot to do my proper pre-buff. Oh well.
This is the Kobayashi Maru. Scanning the nanite transformer. Got additional ignite available.
That activation time sucks so much. Oh no. This is what I get for not being on on a proper plasma setup.
Your defensive capabilities are
Or
unable to
performance.
withstand us. Lower your shields and await assimilation.
This is a horrible round.
Prepare the transformer. Stop them.
Temp Surge is gone. Just got a pile of them sitting in the center. I'm slowed. This is awful.
A probe is closing in on a transformer. Destroy it.
I'm gonna go to the center and die. I've got threat. Yeah. Why do I have a disruptor set up on?
You will be assimilated.
The hard points for cannons look terrible, yeah. This is an awful run.
Your defensive capabilities are unable to withstand us. Lower your shields and await assimilation.
That's probably the worst infected I've done in like 3 months. Holy cow. That was rough. Okay, we're gonna forget that run ever happened. That was rough. I need to get plasma set up back on this. Okay, plasma. Elitist YouTuber doesn't know how to do anything other than plasma. Terrible. Well, it's like I'm trying to run the Credence console and the Excelsior 2 console, which are both consoles that have really long activation times, and that sucks. How does the DPS tracker work? You type in combat log 1. I've got a video going over it. look at what was the numbers even on that? Pain. I need to stop trying to force the E2 console. But yeah, David, I have a video going over how to set up a combat log parser. I'll drop the link for that guide here shortly. As my chat loads. There's a video on how to set up combat parsers in Stow. The one I'm using is Oscar, which I'm going to have a follow-up video going over here soon, but that goes over the majority of the options for the different parsers out there. What did you have? Dan, I had you at 251. No, I think the T5 ships still have value. There's a ton of other T5 ships in that box that are still, you know, perfectly capable. You know, I'm feeling something different. Elitist DPS player only knows how to fly the Delkina. Waldo, how's it going? Oh boy. How old is this build? It's not horrible. Hope I'm surviving the heat. Trying. It'd be nice if we got some more legendary ROM ships. Indeed. Indeed. I'm gonna swap ships again because I just don't feel like fixing loadouts. Perfect. I think they've brought the 10th bundle back during the past summer events, so, you know, hopefully we see a bundle sale pop up here soon. That includes the 10th. Dark Eddie, how's it going? Disco D7, are we in 2019? It's a very capable ship, and it can run 2 bays of Type 7s. Perfect. Okay. Look, it's even got a Maelstrom Torp on it. So it's a good 2023 era build. Okay, let's do a Khitomer Vortex Elite. You know, I only know the board cues. Oof.
There are 2 active Borg trends. The Borg are...
We got this. Yeah, the legendary Audi's fine. One day Spencer is going to actually become Borg. Terrible.
From this time forward, your culture will adapt to service ours.
Warning, ship is under attack.
Probes are headed for the Hive vortex. Stop them!
Rear shield failing. Shield failing.
Disarm robots. You will escort us to your own world, where we will begin assimilating your culture and technology.
Core shield failing. Rear shield failing. Right shield failing. Hull integrity.
A little bit of lag right there. A little bit of lag. Does anything want to activate? PSV misfire looks like. Back now. The Valor console. It works best under CSV, which is why we sort of mean about beam overload not only being worse for DPS, but also worse for survivability. Because it procs so much more under CSV because of how much more shots you have outgoing. I miss using the Viridian Plasmas even though they
We're
are
picking up some
lower to
straight
hit target. I mean, the visuals were nice, but the weapons fire so fast, it's not a big deal to me.
You will be born.
The bigger deal to me is that I've had CSV misfire multiple times in these runs.
You will lower your shields and prepare
I
to
just wait for Janatra. He's dead. out. Yeah, so in STO, area of effect firing modes are going to always be like just substantially more effective in PvE because there's always groups of enemies rather than one large enemy in most combat scenarios. So with AoE firing modes like CSV or Fall, you're hitting multiple targets, and in STO, again, that just ends up being the most optimal route to getting the highest damage numbers. And another thing too is the way I was keeping my shields up was the shield absorptive frequency generator console from the tier 3 Valdor, which is a Romulan ship you can buy with dilithium. If you also happen to have the legendary first strike bundle, the Valdor in that does also happen to have this console. But this adds a proc to your weapons that can give you a ton of shield healing. And on an AoE build, you're going to get a ton from it. But if you're on single target, you immediately lose like most of the punch the console has. Yeah, it's basically, as soon as you start to do single target stuff, not only are you lowering your damage potential, but you're also lowering your survivability potential. Like the way that STO works is not how I think a lot of people would expect it coming from other games. With already needing to deslot haste and record run, so I think there's a lot of room of increasing the meta without improving the server performance. I think we are starting to hit that upper wall of what is currently possible. And it's basically just down to run refinement, RNG. A lot of it's, just randomness. Yeah, AoE is always better. Like, look at my healing here. Dark Eddy also had a ton of healing. Dark Eddy, I guess you also had Valdor on. If I go look at analysis, and I look at heals out, Dark Eddy, Valdor console, 11k healing per second. CasualSAB, the Valdor console, was another 8.3k healing per second. So, it's in STO. AoE builds have a higher survivability potential because you have heals out there that are based on how many shots you have outgoing, how much damage you have outgoing. There is no cap for fleet power. That's one of the reasons it's so powerful, is because if you buff it up with OSS, EPS, and the console off of the legendary Galax, you can get it up to like 250% haste per console. Is Temporal Surge good? It is, but there's a lot of things you have to do with it. Like, you have to make sure you deslot it prior to entering a map, because if you have it slotted upon entering the map, it's going to start off with a 2-minute cooldown. It's a good trait. Temporal Surge is good, but it's one of those things where you have to understand the mechanics about it, about especially needing to deslot it and reslot it. You have to understand that, and ideally, if you're using it in longer duration content, having it on a build where you can reduce the cooldown, is beneficial. But the reason it doesn't get universally recommended is because the majority of people are not going to go out and want to bother with deslotting and reslotting a trait every time they enter a map. It's one of those things where it requires micromanagement, and it's a level of micromanagement above what your average player is going to be willing to deal with every time. It's a very powerful trait, though. Very powerful, but it has issues. Yeah, upload the run. Yeah, I can do that. Oh, well, it's Khitomer. I can't upload that one. Good morning. How's it going? Okay. ISDPS was on the Connie running Surgical Strikes 3. Documents, how's it going? Yeah, indeed. Indeed, Dan. Okay. Let's do some more content. You know, I often hear, let's do Battle of Corfez. You know, let's do a Battle of Corfez. It's been a while. Who doesn't enjoy going up against the VOD War? Battle of Corfez public queue. We got this. Christopher Pike, thank you for the follow. The person that won the Advanced Obelisk on the CasualSAB Discord has not yet responded to me to claim it. So if your name is, let me find it. If your name is Huggy89 on Discord, please respond to claim your ship. This is now the second or two of the last couple of winners on my Discord have just straight up not responded to the giveaways. So people are entering giveaways and then not claiming the prize. Mir, how's it going? Robert, just the stat boost. The stat boost is the reward.
Vodwar ships have invaded the area around Corfez.
Terrible. Disco, how's it going? I'm not in a tank.
Warning. Ship is under attack.
The Teray are sending us home.
my emergency power subsystem abilities. Just power buff, and I think I have ship the line on. We got the bugged phase, so I don't know if this has ever been fixed, but this is probably going to be an immediate failure. These are ultimate plasma dual heavy cannons. Yeah, they never fix it. Why would they fix it? Why would they fix this queue being busted for a couple years? Not a priority. I got sub-nuked, I'm dead, I mean, we've lost this. The issue with this phase of Corfez is that if you get it, it spawns in all the enemies at the same time. It is fully beatable if you have the right builds in there, but we don't have a single EPG build in here. You need an EPG build that has high control to basically just be able to go in and deal with this.
I'm very disappointed.
It's been busted for a long time. I don't know when or if they'll ever fix it. Yeah, I'm going to die there. Yeah, it's fully beatable if you have EPG builds. We didn't have a single EPG build in there. In the Discords, there's giveaway channels, and you just hit like a blue party icon below the giveaway post. So like over in the Builds Discord, there is a giveaway up still for some tier 5 Heroian Hunter Heavy Escorts. All you have to do is hit this blue party icon right below the giveaway post. That's all you have to do to enter for a chance to win. Just hit that button. Terrible. Okay. Let's go back to the Voven. This is a low deeps off meta build. Let's take it back in and take another Hive. Oscar's real time also, doesn't this have attacks in? There we go. I have to close that and reopen it, right? There we go. Apparently Harry is very disappointed. He always is. Okay. Public queue Hive Onslaught Elite. I'm gonna fly right into the center and do Voven things. But yeah, so with ability pre-activation, I do have a breakdown of some pre-buff timing from an infected on my infected piloting guide from a couple years back. But right now, it's pretty much I'm just training emergency power to subsystem abilities. Every build out there should pretty much have 2 different emergency powered subsystem abilities on them. If the build doesn't, there's something wrong with the build. So on this one, it's bridge powered weapons and shields. Other builds will do different things.
Join us. Become one with us.
I tried to hit constant head time, messed up. Okay.
Core shields failing. Rear shields failing. Right shields failing.
Two things want to activate. There we go.
Target's shields have failed.
I hate EPM so much. I just messed it up again.
4 shields failing. Target's shields have failed. Rear shields failing.
You will become one with the Lord.
Your efforts are futile. Destroy this vessel, and I will claim another.
Yeah, control can be very useful. Just don't watch me for my ETM timings. Like, I just screwed that one up. I hate ETM. I hate ETM so much.
Your efforts are futile. Destroy this vessel, and I will claim another.
Has your second account heard any fake rumors about the Good Day to Die event? I mean, it's probably going to start up by the end of the month, would be my guess. I wish I could just run 2 copies of Fire at Will, or just a single copy and not need to run like a Torp spread, you know, to do ETM timing. It's one of the most frustrating things for me when it comes to tanking now, is just, I hate ETM timing. I want to focus on hitting other things. I don't want to focus on micromanaging a torpedo. Especially when I'm, like, I don't have the fastest firing torpedo. Okay, total damage incoming, 2.3 million. Total healing, 2.6. I did okay. Yeah, Fire at Will desperately needs a better way to have a higher uptime. ETM is just, it can work if you sit there and you micromanage it perfectly, but I hate it. Axel, how's it going? How's the event ship holding up as a tank? Perfectly fine. I did a solo Hive Elite with it the other day, where I just flew right into the center of Hive, and I just sat there and tanked the entire thing. I might still have that parse here. There we go. Look at that. Total damage in, 19.5 million. Total healing, 17.5 million. ETM just gives fall 1. Yeah, this is a perfectly capable tank platform. It's not going to be the highest DPS as expected, but it can take a lot of damage and it can heal. Redirecting rays is fine and probably would be good enough for what I have on here right now. Part of the reason that I'm doing the ETM is because I have the ball torp on for the 2-piece. Because if you're doing the obelisk 4-piece set, you can't do the ball omni beam because it's a set omni. So if you want to do the full obelisk set, you're locked out of some other nice things like the ball omni beam. What I dislike is that you get new players coming in trying to set up EPG builds. I just don't think that's appropriate for new players to be getting into. EPG builds are rather complex, in my opinion, for the just the different things you need to go for. I think for new players, it's best to start off with a do build. Another thing holding back beam builds, omni restrictions, absolutely. Yeah, because I've got the Ancient Omni on for the 4-piece, and that locks me out of doing the Bowel Omni, meaning I have to do the Bowel Torp, which isn't great. I'm just checking some messages. Okay. Yeah, this is just like a really weird off-meta setup. I think the other reason I didn't do redirecting arrays is because I didn't have it unlocked on this character. I think it might be time to go in and unlock it. Mac, you could still do the lockbox, but you need the Lobby Foul Omni for the set. Yeah, this is a tank setup. What's the short ground TFO? Defend Rio Station Elite. Or defend Rio Station. DRS, yeah. Okay, what's I gonna do? The Ultimate set used to be quite popular, but it's fallen out of favor because the Pavin Omni that we got earlier this year is currently the best set Omni for damage. So, the Ultimate set pretty much has been dropped off a lot of builds. Does it have command spec? Yes, command Merc Worker. It's the Iwani, but it's a Commander Inge. But yeah, you can make this thing like a crazy heavy tank. The Universe class is fine, but it's only a Lieutenant Commander command, and the Bridge Officer setup on it is a bit limited. So you can make it a tank. I've done that before, but it's not as capable as these full Commander command platforms. What is my preferred ship for Torp builds? Literally the only option to me right now is the Terran Eagle. I think that if I'm going for a Torp build right now, it is on the Terran Eagle, and if it's not on the Terran Eagle, I'm throwing. Because the Terran Eagle can fire torps 3 times faster than any other ship in the game that has a Lieutenant Commander command seat. Because the console on it enables you to fire a torp every half second if it's on a ship with pilot abilities. And the only ship in the game that has Commander Pilot plus Lieutenant Commander Command is the Terran Eagle, and that is why the Terran Eagle is the only torp platform used at the high end now. I do not. Nick does. Nick MB has a video going over his Terran Eagle torp setup. So let me find that for you. I know Nick hasn't done a video in a little bit. As some of you saw, he just had surgery, so he's probably not going to do any videos again anytime soon. He's not done with his channel, but a pretty big surgery there for him, so. There's Nick's video on his torp setup. Yeah, I was popping his video up. He's in prison for the bus accident. Terrible. Yeah, the universe can tank. Why is the Pavin good? If you look at my recent meta breakdown, I have a big section in there talking about the Pavin Omni. But basically, it gets, when you hit Cannon Scatter Volley on your build, the Pavin Omni gets Fire at Will, equivalent to the rank of CSV you had. So you can basically have permanent fall uptime on the Pavin Omni, and it does a ton of damage. I have the tier 5 version. If you're doing a tank build, or not tank, if you're doing a Torp build, you have to have Lieutenant Commander Command on your ship. You desperately need Concentrate Firepower 3 on your Torp build. If you do not have that, you are losing like 60 to 70% of your torpedo damage. Because it enables you to fire your torpedoes so much faster, or not. It does that, but it also gives you high yields. Like, if you do not have Concentrate Firepower 3 on a torpedo build, you are missing, like, the core part of what makes a torp build a torp build. Yeah, that's just a hard requirement of any high-end torp builds right now, is they gotta have CF3. If they don't have Concentrate Firepower 3, you're going to be limited. Like, severely limited. And that's pretty much been a standard for the past couple of years. Like, for a ship to even be a contender for a Torp platform, if it doesn't have Lieutenant Commander Command, it's not in... You don't even look at it. Just overrode my Torp build, saving my CSV build on the Akira. Oh, no. Mac, that's unfortunate. Sorry. Well, let's take this tank into another queue. I'll tank an Infected Elite, okay? Infected the Conduit Elite, public queue, here we go. This is going to perform terribly, but whatever. Yeah, and the other thing is, too, is if you're on console, like, Torp builds... Everything I've heard about the console interface, just, it limits your Torp build options a little bit for like, actually flying them.
The situation is...
And because I never went back up to space, I still have abilities on cooldown from the last queue.
Resistance is futile.
Warning, ship is under attack.
Scanning the nanite transformer. Done. Additional data is available.
Left shield failing. 4 shields failing. Hull integrity below 75%. Hull integrity below 50%.
The nanite probes can repair the transformers. Stop them.
Can't hit my...
Left shield failing. Rear shield failing.
We are aboard. Surrender your vessel and prepare for assimilation.
probe is closing in on a transformer. Destroy it!
Use that there.
You will be assimilated.
Target shields have failed.
There we go. That felt terrible. What about those cooldowns? So when you're
Sensors
when you're
confirm
on
that the
ground, your
transport
space
conduit is
cooldowns
being
don't reset,
destroyed.
and when you leave a TFO, it doesn't reset your cooldowns. So you'll use like a attack or intel fleet in one TFO being to ground, and it might still be on cooldown when you load into the next map. Really unfortunate. The Kelvin refit. Which Kelvin refit? I'm terrible at timing on tank builds here, so don't take too much from my ability timing. That's not my problem. Sorry, family's bugging me about stuff. Is that a new record for you? Let me check. Yep, there you go. You uploaded to Oscar. So, Waldo, I've got you at 236, Dan 319, or almost 320 there. Dark Eddie 663, and Rough Rider just under 60. Probably a dickish thing, but when my family starts to bug me about stuff that's like my sister's issue, the first time I'll tell them I'm not going to deal with it. It's her problem. The second time I just turn my phone off. As some of you that have heard about those stories know, my sister can be a bit fun. Yeah, are you talking which Kelvin variant are you talking about? I don't have the Kelvin A, the new one. I don't have it. I never bothered picking it up. The Kelvin Constitution 2 there. Yeah. I never bothered grabbing it. Nice. Yeah, it's just variants from, like, I was probably a little bit far from you at some point. Oh, you're fine. Yeah, I mean, ideally, like, if I go up to space right now, you know, let's see what my cooldowns are. This is a big limiting factor in, like, doing DPS runs. You know, we'll leave and reform, but we have to sit there and wait for, like, 5 minutes in system space to wait for ability cooldowns. Like you see here, my intel fleet's still on cooldown, my fire and my mark, my vulnerability assessment. Like, I gotta wait for those abilities, you know. If I want to have them back up for the next TFO, have to beam up to space and let them cool down. They only cool down while you're in space, correct?
Enhanced by
Not mean to hit that. Just trying to close out of that tab. Yeah, it happens. This is why we can't have nice things, indeed. Let's do something again with the Credence. Yeah, just go in with this loadout. What TFO should we do? Another cure found. Cure found elite public queue. And putting that one thing on my build has completely bricked my tray. Love it. Fundus, how's it going? Yeah, no problem. See you around, Christopher. Cure elite ground. That doesn't exist, unfortunately. Got a lot of people there. I'm just gonna move on to the next area. Credence console activation time it sucks so much.
We are the bulwark.
Target shields have failed.
Counterpoint elite. Oh no. Counterpoint elite. That's terrifying too. As in, I don't have fun in it. No. Yeah, you change like a battery or one little thing on your build and it just completely like just takes out part of your tray.
Ship is under
It's fun.
attack.
Your defensive capabilities are unable to withstand us. Lower your shields and await assimilation.
Shield failing.
Yep. It's just the core. The core is all you need to get all those Tholian crystals to pop up. It's really quite powerful. I believe so, but the core on its own does enough. You don't need the rest of the set. Gravity kills. That's terrible. Okay, let's do another Bullion Crystal building. Having probably not. I mean, you just slap the core on any build that does damage, and it pretty much does that. Let's see here. We're all gonna be doing the Health Honor ton here soon, so I guess let's do one of them. Yeah, there's a few TFOs I just don't enjoy doing. Grav kills, Counterpoint. It's personal preference. Some people hate doing the board queues. Some people only like doing the board queues. I'm in public queue for To Hell with Honor. Wolf 359. I think the issue with Wolf 359 is it's just a fixed, you know, it's time gated a bit there. You can't just go and take the cube out. I think that's the reason that pretty much after the event, most people haven't really bothered with it much. Is it's a pretty static experience. So, well, once you've played it enough and seen how it plays out, you don't really get anything from spamming it. Yeah, it's the reason that the board queues are so popular is because you're rewarded for your skill level. The faster you can take out the opponents, the faster you get through the content. So Hell with Honor works like that also. And so do several other queues, but yeah, Wolf 359, it's fairly static. And while you can take some things out faster, it just doesn't have the same feeling. It's a nice experience, but it's just not one that is the most replayable. If that's happening, Game Freaks, that's a bug. I haven't seen that. Yeah, the Health Honor's fun. It did pop, but yeah, we're just waiting for it to load now. Yeah, exactly, Eric. Why do I have so many missions active? Because you can use them as just ways to teleport around. You can hit the thing and just use them as free transports to an area.
To all true Klingon vessels,
Yeah, mission teleports are always really nice.
go to Shipyard Alpha. Destroy the Mokai vessels before they can power up.
Warning, ship is under attack.
That smell of deuterium in the morning. Glorious. The United Peoples will damage anything near
So slow right now.
when they are destroyed. Move to Shipyard Beta before the Mokai can escape. Filthy Takek! Die here! The Mokai are attempting to flee from Shipyard Shipguard Epsilon.
Rear shields failing.
That last one gonna die? I hope so. I walked away from it too fast.
Below 75%.
We got someone over there.
Shields failing.
I don't have comp engines on, so I'm super slow.
Left shields failing.
Oh no.
The multi-vessels are powering up their warp cores. Stop them.
Yeah, I left that one
That
too
was the
soon.
last vessel in Shipyard Gamma.
4 shields failing. Rear shields failing. Right shields failing. Left shield failing. 4 shields failing.
Shipyard Delta is now clear of multi-vessels.
Okay, so just Epsilon left.
Rear shield failing. Left shield failing. 4 shields failing.
Okay, how many we got left over here?
No vessels remain at Shipyard Epsilon.
Target shields failing.
Give us this rapid car. Fuck. Fight this way.
Rear shields failing.
Go. Yoda has some honor, after all.
4 shields failing.
Give her a warrior death.
Yeah. Nice, Robert.
Exchange group and proceed from the tar shield. Freak. I'll tear this moon in half. Fire the weapon.
4 shields
Kaula just over the rift with her mycelial weapon. Look, Galactic ships are emerging from the rift. Ah, a fine shot. Look at the size of that fireball. Close the rift before the Galactic overrun the system. Increase power
Rear shields
and fire
failing.
the weapon again. The rift has been sealed. You have done well. Wait. We're getting strange energy reaching from the area. The mycelial rift draws energy from the nearby reactor. Destroy it. Kaula has targeted a spot near a reactor station. It's feeding the rift. Destroy it. Be advised. The reactors have a blast radius of 5 kilometers. The rift has been sealed. You have done well.
Just gonna make Spencer to make us more videos and help us with our builds.
What game is Jamuda playing now?
I do want to do some build videos at some point again. It's just, like I said in the last stream, it's probably going to be more build guides for like playstyles rather than builds for specific ships, because ultimately, like if you're doing a beam overload setup on one ship, it's not different from how you do it on a different ship. So teaching people how to set up, you know, a build for a certain playstyle, I think is just more valuable.
Success. Let our enemies
More educational.
Shields
For this
failing.
will be their tool. Only attackers like you will use a lachi to fight their battles, Jamula. Get caught for the vortex. Maximum war.
Build video 1, Plasma CSV. Yeah, well that's the issue, right? Do like for specific ships, like
Something big is emerging.
it's the same build over and over.
That gigantic Alachi
So instead of saying, you know, how to do a plasma setup on 10 different ships, if I just do one video, like here's how you do the plasma CSV setup, you know, and here's how you do it on a, or like what the components are and how you build around them. Like, that's more valuable.
You feel the last rift.
Can we expect to do side build? I don't know. I think there's going to be some personal bias as to what things I think are actually relevant to build towards right now.
Attention.
Besides still capable.
Victory.
Oh no. Size basically just, you know, do build, CSV, grab well, maybe a couple exotic things tossed on. I know. I don't know. And that's another thing too, right there. Tetrion meta build. People drastically overthink the difference between damage types. You know, obviously Plasma has something that really substantially helps right now. Phaser, Disruptor have the Terran weapons, but in most cases, if all you're wanting to do is just, I want to set up, I'm running a Phaser Beam Overload build, and I want to try out a Polaron Beam Overload build, what you typically do is you swap out your consoles that say plus Phaser for plus Polaron, and you swap your weapons out. Like, it's usually just something as simple as that. Yeah, Tetrion's perfectly fine. You can even do like a rainbow setup with Canon, the Canon's consoles, and do well over 1 million. Yeah. My piloting is a bit rough today. We haven't really been doing much run-wise over in RNG because pretty much with the start of the summer event, it's just an expectation that the servers are just going to perform poorly, so we're not even going to bother trying to do the really high-end runs for right now. Let me see what I'm getting pinged about. Yeah, Legendary CSV is perfectly fine with CSV. How about best DPS build with only C-Store, like limit to tiers? Maybe. It's hard because the other issue there is I'd be showing stuff on, you know, showing stuff off on an account that has fully maxed out endeavors, and then it's like the issue with budget builds is one person's budget, you know, they might think a build under $100 is budget. Someone else may think a build that is entirely obtained for free is budget. Someone else may think, you know, the budget for definition just varies so wildly between people. You know, even when you get down to like, oh, this is a completely free build, someone may be looking for something that they can, you know, set up and immediately do as soon as they start playing the game. Someone else may be looking for a budget build that they can build up to over the course of a year. It's rough. What is the best build, in my opinion, in Stowe? Cannon Scatter Volley. Cannon Scatter Volley, because there's just the highest performance potential behind it right now, but it is also highly skill dependent. The performance you get with the CSV setup is going to depend on how well you can pilot your ship, how well you can maintain multiple targets in your forward firing arc. You know, like when I'm looking for people to bring into high-end runs, if we ask them what build they're doing and the answer isn't CSV, we're probably, you know, we'd pass over them. If I'm being honest. Like CSV, it's the highest performance potential. and it's got the highest. It's also where there's that big skill requirement behind it to really optimize it. Like, people that push the numbers, try to compete, they're going to be doing CSV. If you're doing any other firing mode with energy weapons, it's a lower performance potential. You've got lower DPS potential, lower survivability potential. Everything else is just, it's rough. Okay, I need to bail out here. I've got family bugging me about stuff, so thank you to everyone for tuning in. This was just a really random stream. If you have any build questions, make sure to join the Builds Discord. Link to that is going in chat now. So if you have any questions related to builds, make sure to join the Builds Discord. There's a ton of information over there. Tons of friendly people. A few people like Nick that might be a bit grumpy, but got some good people over there. Okay, thank you all for tuning in. I will see you guys around.